to another video, mine's Commander Belay, and this is another Chelsea transfer news ready video for you guys, where I'll keep you guys up to date with all the latest Chelsea news in the past 24 hours. News stories on Julian, Ogsman, Declan Rice, Frank Lampard and Andreas Christiansen, all the latest news in the past day or so. Now, before I do get into it, make sure you smash the like button, subscribe, hit the bell notification, and comment down below your thoughts opinions in the comments section below. But without further ado, let's get straight into today's transfer news ready video for you guys. Now, starting off with what David Ornstein came out on The Athletic. David Ornstein, credible journalist who writes for The Athletic. He made a video, he does a weekly/monthly video discussing all the latest news around the Premier League. He's got more connections and sources within Arsenal, but his colleagues, Simon Johnson and Liam Toomey, obviously they are connected to Chelsea. He is close with them and he does have his own sources within Chelsea. He is a very respected journalist, and he made a video specifically on Chelsea, on Declan Rice, Frank Lampard and Julian Nagelsmann. I'll be delving into it, breaking it all down and giving you guys my thoughts and opinions. Now, starting off with the first thing David Ornstein said was his update on the managerial situation. We know Frank Lampard has been under serious scrutiny, serious pressure after that embarrassing defeat against Manchester City, and of course we are now 9th in the table, which is not good enough, especially with the investment we made in the summertime and how quickly and rapidly we are falling away with the performances not being up to scratch on top of that as well. And it has been told by him that Roman Abramovich is not very happy with Frank Lampard, and it could pull the trigger in the next few weeks if performances and results don't quickly make a turnaround, don't improve drastically. Now, regarding the managerial replacement, Julian Nagelsmann, there's an update on him, and basically Chelsea are not convinced by Julian Nagelsmann. Julian Nagelsmann, the manager of RB Leipzig, they're not convinced by him. They looked at him previously, but they're not sure that he is the right fit at this moment in time. They believe that he needs to gain a bit more experience, and I think rightly so. I did say in many videos, I've already made a tactical analysis video in my series, in my episode, in episode 2, we broke down Julian Nagelsmann tactical analysis. I was very impressed with him, especially when analysing him, but he isn't ready made quite yet. As I said, Thomas Tuchel is my first choice, and the board do seem to agree that Julian Nagelsmann is not their first choice. They are not too convinced by him, especially reported by David Ornstein. On top of that, if we were to sign Julian Nagelsmann, we'd have to wait until the end of the season, meaning we'd have to get an interim manager in until the end of the season, which I don't think the club would like to do if we sacked Frank Lampard. So Julian Ogsman seems to be out the picture, as the hierarchy are quite unsure on his credentials, which is fair enough. Now, moving on to Declan Rice. He was asked about Declan Rice, and he spoke a bit about Declan Rice. Now, if we were going to sign anyone this specific January transfer window, it is going to be Declan Rice. However, it doesn't mean it's going to be likely. It's mainly going to be outgoings. I made a Chelsea daily video yesterday talking about the outgoings of players that we're going to be trying to offload, i.e. Marcus Alonso, Fikayo Tomori, Drinkwater, etc. It's more about balancing that squad, essentially being under the FFP regulations and guidelines, staying within it. We made a heavy investment in summer. We couldn't really offload players. We have a lot of players on the wage bill. We need to reduce that wage bill, and so the club will mainly be focusing on outgoings. That isn't to say we're not going to try and sign Declan Rice, because he is Lampard's first choice target and priority, but what he's saying is that Declan Rice is a target driven mainly by Frank Lampard. This is not a board signing. This is a managerial signing. Now, this is quite surprising. Now, if you cast your minds back to a few years ago when we had the likes of Jose Mourinho, Antonio Conte and to some extent Mauricio Sarri, it was never really the manager who made the final call. It was mainly Mourinho, Gunnar, the Chelsea hierarchy and boardroom. And that doesn't seem to be the case this time. It's mainly down, the control is mainly down to Frank Lampard, which by the way is a good thing. Now, whether you like Frank Lampard as manager or not, giving a certain amount of control to the manager is promising and good. It means that you're putting your faith into your manager, and it means he has more control. In the past we made a lot of signings, the board signings, that managers weren't really happy with. Antonio Conte reportedly wanted likes of Lukaku, Van Dijk, he wanted Alexandro, and we got Marcus Alonso, David Luiz, and we got Alvaro Morata. So, when you don't back your manager, it leads to turmoil, and I think we've done the right thing. However, because the hierarchy are not convinced by Declan Rice, and it's a signing that is driven solely by Frank Lampard, it means that what David Ornstein is trying to say here emphasises that if Frank Lampard keeps pushing the board to sign Declan Rice, it may cause his downfall. And the reason why I say this is because, he is 9th in the table, Chelsea are 9th, and the performances are not up to scratch. You cannot justify signing Declan Rice when you've spent £250 million and you are in the position you are. The performances are simply not good enough. The results are not good enough. For him to be able to justify the signing of Declan Rice, performances do need to improve. If I'm part of the boardroom, if I'm really going to sky Roman, and Frank Lampard comes up to me and says, I want us to spend £80 million on Declan Rice just January, you wouldn't give it. Why would I? I've just given you £250 million in the summer and you haven't spent it wisely. Look at our performances, look at our results. Why are we 9th in the table? And rightly so. And if he keeps pushing for Declan Rice, he has to be extremely careful. That's exactly what is reported by David Ornstein. And that's what he's saying. Now, essentially, with Frank Lampard, as I said yesterday, he is being given one last opportunity. One last chance to prove himself as to why he should be Chelsea manager. He's going to try and justify himself. And basically meaning he has to win his next 3 games. We've got Morecambe this Sunday. We then got Fulham and then we've got Leicester. If he loses and drops points to Fulham and Leicester, he's gone. He will get the chop. Forget Morecambe. Morecambe is redundant because Morecambe, they're a very small team, League One team. Even with no manager, we should, swipe away Morecambe. That shouldn't be a problem. The main games are Fulham and Leicester. We need to start climbing up that table and climbing up that table rapidly. We're falling adrift at that top spot. We're falling adrift at top 4. And as David Ornstein stressed, as soon as top 4 looks in jeopardy, Roman Abramovich will start cutting off Frank Lampard. That's just confirmed. That is 100% confirmed. So that is the latest update regarding the Declan Rice situation, the Nagelsmann and the Frank Lampard situation. Now getting into a little bit of the game this weekend against Morecambe. Obviously we are playing Morecambe now in the 3rd round of the FA Cup at Stamford Bridge. Again, should be a light game. It will be our reserve team. Get some of the youngsters out like Billy Gilmore. However, there is some team news, some team injury news, and that is regarding Andreas Christiansen. Now it is unfortunate news for him. Regarding Andreas Christiansen, he is injured and he won't be able to feature against Morecambe this Sunday. He is a doubt for Chelsea this weekend after undergoing a scan on his knee. Now it looks like he will miss the game. The reason why he's got an injury is because of the Aston Villa game. Now we drew 1-1 at Stamford Bridge about a week ago, just over a week ago. Remember, that's how Aston Villa scored. Jack Grealish injured him. The ref seemed to play advantage when it was a clear foul, and ended up scoring an equaliser, and we drew the game. Now, people, he came on a lot of criticism, especially John Terry gave him criticism, saying that Christensen should have got up. And at the time, a lot of Chelsea fans also criticised him for that, for being too weak. Now, it has later been confirmed that he is actually, in fact, injured. He is undergoing a scan on his knee, and he is a massive doubt for this game, which is unfortunate. It means that it looks like Tomori will be getting some game time. And yesterday I said that the club will look to loan Fikayo Tomori because he needs to, get some game time. But because of Christensen's injury, it could be a Rudiger/Tomori partnership this weekend. You could expect something like that this weekend, which will be good. Good for Tomori getting some game time. But it is unfortunate for Christensen. I think that he's a top quality centre back. He has a lot of quality and attributes that are pivotal to a Frank Lampard system, and unfortunately he won't be able to feature because he's got an injury. A lot of people need to be too harsh on Christensen. He was our best centre back up until Thiago Silva came in, and he unfortunately sustained that injury against. He did get that red card against Liverpool. He was our best centre back. I think he has been harshly criticised this season, and again, hopefully speedy recovery for him. But that is going to wrap up the Chelsea transfer news video for you guys. If you did enjoy this video, to smash the like button, subscribe, hit the bell notification, comment down below your thoughts, opinions in the comment section below, and I will see you guys for my next video. Peace.